What's up, everybody? We are opening the queue. Getting started. We're gonna warm up a little bit by doing some Puzzle Rush first. So, Puzzle Rush is a challenge where they give you a lot of puzzles, and they're gonna start from easy ones, and they're gonna build up all the way. It's very challenging. So, in the meantime, I am having my queue open. So if you want to join, just do !join. I do see that my board is a little bit cut off. There we go. It's all good now. All right, so starting off, we have the easiest puzzle. I actually do want to show a little bit more. Maybe I'll go to chess.com stream here. Boom. Now we can see what level I'm at. All right, so we're going to start with bringing the rook all the way up, and we have a back rank mate. We also have a back rank mate here too. Boom, and boom. There we go. And yet we have another one. I mean, if you're doing chess.com puzzles, you have to know this concept of a back rank checkmate where the enemy king is trapped. There's a bishop here, and we're going to sacrifice our rook. After rook takes, we take back, and then that will be mate. So it's a very simple concept, and it'll show up all the time in the first 10 ones. All of my puzzles so far has been a back rank checkmate. So here, rook comes here, and we pick up that rook. We pick up that rook and give another back rank checkmate. This is like all these puzzles are. This one's interesting. It's not technically a back rank, but sort of. If queen goes here, it's actually checkmate. These two rooks are in a very awkward spot. The king can't go anywhere. Queen controls these three squares, and so it's lights out. This is a check. King can't go here because of the bishop, so then the king will have to go to the corner. That's the only option, and then we'll go to the corner also, and we're backed up by the bishop. Hey there, Jala. Welcome. Boom, and then that'll lead to a mate. This, I think, is a simple checkmate in one. Queen is covering this, queen's covering that, and that king can't go up, so that would be checkmate. Okay, one, the queen is hanging, but I'm in check, so I have to do something about it. If I take the bishop, this check, and I just go back, this looks fine to me. Do I have anything better? I really don't think so. If I take, queen could take my rook. That could be annoying. But then I would take here. If the king goes to one of these squares, I have a discovered check exposing my rook onto that queen. Otherwise, I take the rook in the corner. So let's take that. And now we play this. Okay, let's take the rook in the corner. Boom. There we go. All right. Puzzle number 8 is in the books. Now we're on puzzle number 9. What to do? All right, so I'm looking at my queen, how it's lined up against the king. I also see my knight could potentially come here and add more pressure on this bishop. If knight comes here, it threatens a checkmate in one move. It'll be protected by that knight. Is there anything that white could do to stop it? The only thing is to protect the bishop with the queen, but that will hang via my knight. I don't see anything else that black has to defend it, so let's go ahead, sink my knight into this square, and pick up the queen. Boom, just like that. All right, now we have another puzzle. We've done 9, now we're on number 10. So the rook just went over here in the corner, and I could give a back rank. I can go here. If the queen blocks, I will happily take that queen. And otherwise, the knight would have to block. I would take the knight. That looks really good, because here, if queen blocks, I take the queen after king takes. This rook is hanging. This is looking really good to me. So we're sending that rook to the corner and picking up that queen and then picking up the rook. All right, something I noticed about this puzzle. My queen is under attack by that rook, but my rook is on an excellent row over here. Row number 2. Rank, technically. So if I can somehow get my queen involved, then I could potentially do a checkmate. So I'm thinking queen to c6, check. King moves over here. I give another check over here. The king moves over here, and then I pick up the rook, and that's checkmate. It's lights out. Actually, the queen could block, but I mean, this has to be pretty good for me. I win the rook. I am already down a rook, so I need to calculate a little bit further. This and this don't work because of the knight, so that's out of the equation. I have to come here first. This is the only move, unless if white just wants to give up material for no reason, which would be dumb. So the king moves. Next, I think this is the only logical move. And then after the king moves again, I could potentially give another check, but the king would come here, and then I don't really see a follow-up. So I think it's here, king here, queen here, king here, and then I take, and then queen blocks, and then maybe I come here or something like that. But I don't think this puzzle is too challenging, so let's start with this. Okay, white is giving up some material, so we're going to take that knight. And that's it. It didn't even make me calculate anything else. This is kind of crazy. I mean, I calculated all of this, and then the puzzle stops right before the good stuff parts. The good stuff happens. So, I mean, whatever. What can you do? Hey there, Carter, take the rook. Yeah, that's what I would have ultimately done. All right, in this position, this bishop is very nicely on this, this square. It's very similar to today's daily puzzle, and I just put a video on it where this bishop is over here, and we put our queen here and then give a mate. That's literally the theme of today's puzzle that I just posted. So right now we're in a check. King can't take it. It's protected by the queen, but the queen could take it. Queen could take it. And then the queen and the bishop are protecting this square. So there's no pawn takes. There's none of that nonsense because I will have two pieces protecting it. I don't think it's a king move because that would just be stupid. That would just be stupid. So let's take and then take back. And then take the pawn with the bishop. Boom. There we go. All right, in this position, we have pawn to f3, attacking the knight. So what to do? Our knight's under attack. Do we need to defend it? A lot of beginners will say, yeah, I mean, the knight's under attack, the pawn can take it, so we move the knight away. Well, the problem of moving the knight away is that that'll undefend this bishop. So we have to look at other moves, and there is a check over here from the bishop. And it's not just check, it's actually a mate in two. The only legal move white has in this position is to move this pawn over here, and we'll simply grab that, and at that point it would be checkmate. So don't always be in the mindset of, oh, my piece is under attack, I have to move it out of the way. You have to be a little bit creative and think outside of the box. Always be on the offensive, look for checks, captures, and threats in that order. So we're going to play this and grab that for a checkmate. This is a very simple back rank checkmate where we lure the king to that h8 square, sacrifice the queen, and then after the rook takes, the rook will recapture, and then the king will be trapped in the corner. I didn't really look at anything else. I didn't look at any of these pieces on the left. I just see a simple back rank checkmate, and we're going to do that. Okay, in this position, I got a whole bunch of pieces very close to the enemy king. I think this is just a checkmate because that's a check coming from the knight. My rook is protecting the bishop. The rook's also protecting this square, and the bishop's protecting that square. Boom, simple. All right, 15 puzzles are down. Let's see how far we can get, guys. All right, so my queen is under attack. The bishop is under attack. If I can move with a check, I could pick up that bishop next. I think that's the way forward, but I don't know for sure because I'm already down a piece. Actually, I'm not. I'm down the exchange. We could come here and then pick up the bishop. That's pretty good. I don't really see anything that black can do against that. So boom, check, and we pick up the bishop. All right. In this position, what do we have? We have a queen in the corner pinning the knight. If the knight moves, we take the rook. Can we exploit this somehow? My king's on a weird square, by the way, but I don't think it matters too much. There is always this check to think about. What if I give a check this way? The king would move. Actually, the king cannot move. The king cannot move because the bishop is protecting this. The queen just has to block, and then I take the queen because it's protected by that bishop. So we have a simple mate in two. All right, here the pawn is one square away from becoming a queen. Just one square. Black has a few defenders and a pawn of his own that's threatening to become a queen. So one thing that pops up in my mind first is sending the rook all the way down for a check. If this rook takes, then I'll be able to check, get a queen, and it will be with a check. So black doesn't have enough time to take my rook. So if here, this could be a thing. However, that opens the door for my rook to give it checkmate. And it would be a back rank mate because there's 3 pawns covering. So I do think that this is the correct move. There's really no other alternative. Here, the rook takes and we take back with a queen. And then, let's actually think a step further. After we come here, rook takes, pawn takes, queen. If the rook comes back to defend, backed up by that bishop, we send our other rook down for a check. The rook will have to take our rook, and then we take back with our queen for a checkmate. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to send that rook down, and it didn't test us any further. That was the end of the puzzle. This one to me looks like a simple checkmate in one move. No, the king can come down. That's the only option they would have. And then we could probably play bishop here, and I think that's mate. Here, king comes down, bishop here, and then that's lights out. So let's go ahead and do that. Boom. I'm looking at a simple fork. After the king moves, I take the queen, and after rook takes queen, we take back with our knight, and then we're up a full rook at the end of that line. I don't see any better move, so let's go do it. Check, we take the queen, and then we take the rook, and now we're up a rook. Okay, queen f3. It's black to move in this position. I think we pin the queen over, because this pawn can get active extremely fast. So, for example, if we go here and the queen takes, this pawn is running up the board, and this pawn is a little bit too slow. So, take a look here. If I play queen g3, queen takes, pawn to b5, pawn to g2, pawn to b6, I get a queen, and if here, then I can just squeeze in my queen here for a check, and then I would pick up the pawn. So, and there's really not much else to it. So, boom, boom, push, and then there we go. All right, so over here, this is a free pawn. It's attacked by both the knight and the queen. So we could take it. King moves. I'll throw in a check. King would move again, and then I'll put my queen here for mate. I think it's that simple. Boom, boom, mate. There we go. All right, what do we have here? Now this is a little bit challenging. 22 puzzles down, 23. It's time to start thinking a little bit. So our pieces are pretty close to the king. We have a pawn in a great spot right now. I don't know what to do in this position. It's not so clear to me as the other puzzles were. Could I do something with my knights? There is a check I could do here, a check I could do here, and a check I could do here. Those are all checking squares available for that king. This one's occupied by my pawn. I could rule that out of the way. And this one I can't get to. Could I somehow throw in a check this way? I don't think so. My knight is in danger, because if I don't do anything, the king will take it. What if I look at some crazy sacrifice, right? Bishop takes, pawn takes, and then I would look like a dummy because I have no follow-up. What if... No, I actually don't know. This one's challenging. This one's really challenging. If anyone has any ideas, please feel free to throw it in the comments. Nacho Gaming Dude, what's up? How are you doing today? Hope you're having a nice Monday. I think the solution just might be to move the knight over here. I mean, maybe I'm just overthinking this. I'm already up a full piece. Just move my knight out of the way and call it a day. All right, I think that's the idea. Just move my knight, protect it. But how is that a tactic? I don't know. I think that's the answer. It's wrong. Okay. Well, we will review that after this. I knew that was too good to be true. There was no way. This one is just a simple checkmate. So we'll do it. This f6, I see beginners moving their f-pawn all the time. It's f7? Yeah, it probably is f7. I will look at it after. Actually, I will look at it right now. I'm going to open this one. f7. Here. And then rook takes. And then, ooh, and then we get the fork. But what if rook doesn't take? Then we're threatening this, and that's unstoppable. That's very nice. Bro, that's stupid? Yeah, it happens. It happens. It's a Monday. We're getting warmed up. Okay, we're going to come here. Pawn will come here, and we take it with the knight. If you guys think you can beat me, I'm up for a challenge. My queue is open. All you need to do is type !join to play me. I'm going to pin that so everyone knows how to play me. All right, here we could take the pawn or the rook. I'm thinking the rook. All right. Okay, next one. We got the king in a weird spot. We have a fork we could do. I am a little bit worried about this pawn. If I come here, king comes here, and I take, this pawn move is really annoying. It's really, really annoying. I'm going to do it here. And let me think about this a little bit. What rating am I? I'm like 1900 Blitz on chess.com, USCF 1730. I'm thinking to take the rook. If pawn push, I can come back with my knight. Then if the pawn promotes, I come here with my knight, and then it's a fork on the king and that pawn. Tricky knights indeed. There we go. All right, we have a king and pawn endgame. And this pawn's a goner. But if the king ever goes to take it, we push this pawn. And to help get my pawn to this side of the board faster and prevent white from coming here, I'm going to move my king down to shut white out. And then this pawn is free to march forward. So here, and then we push, 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 push. White is not fast enough because we get a queen. All right, we have another position where it's a king and pawn endgame. And I think I just pushed my pawn. And there's not a whole lot white can do other than push his pawn. But I don't think this is fast enough because I get a queen. He gets a queen. But I think I got some checks or stuff like after that. So maybe this check? I don't know. Because taking is wrong because the king is close enough to stop my pawn. This is really the only solution I'm thinking of. So here, 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 and queen. All right, now what to do? There's this check. There's also this check. There's also this check. So check, check, check. And there's a check here. Those are all of the ones worth considering. So which one is correct? We can rule this out because the queen takes. So we have check, we have check, we have check. Those three checks are the only logical ones to think about. And also one more check over here. We have to think of ways to win the white queen. And I think the move that makes the most sense is queen over here, check. Queen here, check. The king may move over here. Check again. I don't know. It's really hard to say. There's a lot of checking options that I could do. There's no clear way to... Let's come here. All right, my intuition was right. There was no way I was going to calculate all that. I just knew that had to be good. It was the closest move to the enemy king. All right, next one. We have a fork between the king and the rook. I think that's it. I think that's all there is to this position. Yep. The queen and bishop are really close to my king. That bothers me a little bit. Is the queen trapped after rook h8? It looks like it is. So let's do it. It takes. Very nice. Another king and pawn endgame here. Guys, we got 29 down. If I push, takes, push, 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 queen, push again. We both have queens on the board. This is tricky. Taking doesn't seem to be very good because then we have a passer. If I push this way, push takes, push, 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 queen. But then I can give a check and pick up the queen here. Aha. I think we're on to something. But hold on. If I push now, this push locks it up, and then this pawn is free to go. So I think it has to be this way. c4. But if pawn takes, I maybe take, push, 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 queen first, and then the queen is covering. So I think c4 is the best move here. Let's do it. c4, we take, we push, and then we stop that pawn. Here we have to take the rook. Everything else will be just done. And now we protect the pawn and go here. Boom. Let's get the king active a bit, and we come here, and then that would be a simple checkmate in just a few moves. All right, in this position, I want to give a checkmate somehow. I'm looking at some forcing moves. I'm looking at pawn over here. I'm looking at pawn over here. Pawn over here doesn't make sense to me because of this. So if here, king here, then I tuck my king down, but the issue with that is the rook can come here and stop me from doing stuff. Oh, wait a second. What am I saying? After here, I put my king here, and then nothing can really stop this. Except the pawn can come down. So check here, down. And that is a bit annoying. I could maybe put my rook here, and then here, and then here. That could be something. Let's do it. Here, here. I want to say rook here to block the king. Could that be it? I think so. I think we got a winner here. Nope, wrong. Let's see what I missed. Let's try that again. If here, here, king here. Oh, just to push, and then I have this mate. That's what I missed. Okay. Let's see. We got rook e5 is an option. All right, queen e5 rather. There's bishop f4 check. I think bishop f4 check is good. All right. Easy peasy. I want to play this and just win like that. Boom. We take. Let's hide our king over here. There we go. Check. King comes down. Not so sure. Maybe I go here, sacrifice the knight, and then sink in my queen for a mate. So here, sacrifice the knight, and checkmate. Nope, it's not checkmate. The king goes down, but I win a bishop. And then check over here. Very nice. That was a nice find. Okay, I think here we go rook takes pawn. King comes here, I come here, and then here, and then here, then here, then here, then here, then here, then back, then I send in my queen for the good. That seems pretty simple. Boom. Boom, 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 and then I would have checkmated with my queen. All right. What do we got? We have a pin going on, so this pawn's not really protecting that one because of the bishop. So queen takes pawn. King over here. And then I don't know. But we got to start with this. That's all we need to know. Okay. Puzzle 36 down. We have one life left. So we have to get everything right. What to do? what to do. I don't know. This is a tough one. Maybe down one and then here? Maybe that's right. Just here and then mate. Okay. What is this? I do have potential discoveries. I could go here and open up the check. Do I have any better discoveries? I don't think so. So let's do it. Let's take with Lost. All right. It happens. If anyone wants to play me, do !join. The queue is entirely open. Nobody has typed join so far. But I do want to see the solution to this one. I'm just going to make a random move, and I want to see the solution. Here's the answer, guys. To give a discovery that way. Oh, and go here for the mate with the other rook. Ah, okay. Very interesting. All right, let's get a game in. We're going to play a 5-minute game to get warmed up. Again, if anyone wants to play, do !join in the chat. And we have a challenge from Questverse. Thank you so much for being the first to do it. Go ahead, Quest, and put your chess.com username in the chat, and then you're right after this game here that I just started. So we have a Queen's Gambit declined in this position, and we have a Catalan. In the Catalan, I like to take this pawn. This can get quite complicated, and I don't know the theory. I think it's to play c5. And then that's the extent of what I know in the Catalan. And then it's kind of like a free-for-all for me of what to do. I've played the Catalan against Grandmaster Sam Shankland in a simul as the black pieces. We got into this position, and he made like a check, picked up the pawn, and just totally destroyed me. I think I'm going to let that pawn go and castle for some kingside safety. I think that makes a lot of sense here. Okay, knight takes. I think I'm going to develop my knight over here. I think that makes a lot of logical sense. So we will see what white does in response. I like my pieces so far, but we're just in the opening. Things are just starting to develop. White's bishop in this line is super powerful. Maybe I could think about putting a knight over there. All right, he's going to open things up a little bit. All right, I'm going to take with the bishop and see where he wants to go with that. Queen over here. There is this knight thing I could do, but I don't really see the point. Doesn't really do a whole lot for me. Except I do have to worry about my bishop. This knight can eventually move, and the queen will be targeting my bishop. What's up, Farce29? Thanks for joining my queue. Just make sure to click on subscribe whenever you get a chance. Just click on that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. And then we'll play. You are next in line. You're actually position number 2, not 3. There might have been somebody else. You're either 2 or 3. We could actually see the list if I do !list. That will give you guys a link that you can use to save, to just see your position and stuff. So that link can be opened. You go to site. Oh, Questverse actually has 2 spots open. I'm going to do next just to clear out one of those. I think that was the issue. But Quest first, and then it's going to be Fars. All right. So, hi, I'm not strong, still a beginner, but it's always good to learn from someone better than me. I love that mindset. I'm preemptively moving the bishop away because it was undefended, and I wanted to duck it to be defended. All right, my queen is under fire. I think, oh, if I move it here, this bishop is coming active. And that's a little bit annoying and uncomfortable for me. I guess I have to move my queen here. That's a weird square for it, but it's not under any fire right now, so we're okay. We are A-okay. Okay, the bishop is coming active. I think we're going to challenge it right away. Challenge it right away. If the bishop wants to take my knight, I'm happy to take. Okay. I think now it makes a lot of sense to play knight d5 and hit the bishop this way. Give me a little bit more breathing room. Whoa. Bishop is coming here. Very interesting. I don't want to take because then knight takes is slightly annoying. What I could do is maybe make a quiet move and play bishop to d7. Adding some defense over here. I do want to slide my rook in to c8. If this knight were to move, I could potentially move my knight and give a discovery for an attack on the queen. That's kind of where my mind is at right now. All right, my knight is under attack. Let's see. I think this move might make a lot of sense here. If pawn takes, I could take with the rook. Yeah, I think let's do it. I think that's a logical move over here. How does white address this situation? Now I got two pieces on that knight. He could take, but I take here, and then all of a sudden, the rook is attacking the queen, my bishop's attacking the bishop. How exactly does white defend all of this? I think that's where white is going to run into some problems that he has to solve. And I don't see any reasonable ways to solve it. Okay, this, I just go here though. Queen over here does attack the knight, but I can put my knight over here. My knight over here attacks the queen and attacks the rook in the corner. Boom, that's a fork. And I think, what a resource. What a resource. Queen over here attacks the rook and the knight. I really don't want to have to just go back. That would be a bit upsetting. Quick material count. We're equal material. Pawn-wise, I think he's up a pawn. This is a little annoying, because now if I take the rook, we just have a trade of rooks. This is difficult. What about... yeah. I'm going to just back up my knight. I don't really see any good alternatives. And I don't want to lose on time. I got 53 seconds left, so I can't just keep thinking about this forever. I got to make a move. Got to do something. All right, takes, we take back. There. Oi. This is not good. My knight's under attack, and then my rook is dropping. I could sacrifice the knight after pawn takes. This is problematic. I'm going to resign over here because I think I'm just dead lost. Dead lost. Yeah, these Catalan games are ridiculous. I need to brush up on some theory. We have a suggestion from Fars, and that's to play pawn to b5. Pawn to b5 over here is probably better than what I played. There is this bishop idea. Bishop takes, and then after queen takes, the queen can come to e2. And then after this, it's actually equal material. So yeah, over there would have been better. Yeah, the stream is delayed a bit. I have not been able to figure that out. So anyway, let's see who's next. I think it's Quest. Quest, you're up. Quest, you're up. Let's play. What is your username? We're going to play a game. We will play a game. I'm thinking we'll do a 5-minute game. If the queue gets really big, I'm going to change it to 3. But for right now, a 5-minute game, I think it's good. Mr. Quest, we are waiting for you. Just Quest first. Quest. I don't know if you could have a space. It might be an underscore. Quest underscore verse. Maybe one word, no space. need what is your exact username in chess.com, because I just tried a bunch and none of them worked. Quest. There's a bunch of quests, but that's not you. Quests first. Nope. Quest first underscore. Nope. What is it? What is your username? And Fars, maybe put your username as well too. It's not my use. Okay, so then what is it? What is it? You didn't write it. All right, in the meantime, we're going to do a quick puzzle rush. I'm going to do a 3-minute one and just do them as fast as I can. Try to explain what I'm doing. All right, free knight. Checkmate over here. Back rank mate over here. Back rank mate over here. Let's give a checkmate over here. Checkmate over here. Checkmate over here. Checkmate over here. Back rank mate over here. Boom. And checkmate over here. Checkmate over here. Discovery and pick up the queen. Let's go. I want to say check. And then here for a mate. Back rank mate. Pick that up. Check. Nope, that's wrong. Takes and this. Check. Takes. And then mate. Checkmate. Discoveries. Do I have good discoveries? No, but I have checkmate over here. I think this is mate with that move. There we go. All right, let's go with king here. King here takes, push, 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 queen. Mate. Mate. Almost mate. Almost mate. Almost mate. Mate. Checkmate. Takes. Here, and then we would pick that up. This way, push. Here, takes, push, and we get a queen. What to do? We go this way, and then this mate will be unstoppable. Did I ban a certain character letter? No, I did not. I did not ban anything. All right, 25. Can you maybe describe that certain character? Because you can't say you're... Yeah, type it with spaces, and then I'll know to remove the spaces. Good suggestion, Fars. Adi, if you want to get in the queue, all you need to do is type !join in the chat, and then I'll play you. And, well, you'll have to wait in line. I think there are 2 people before you. But quests, yeah, try typing it without or with spaces, and I'll figure it out. I did not see it. Did not come through. Could you maybe figure it out relatively soon? Otherwise, we're going to have to move on. And I'd rather not. I'd rather play you in that order. Didn't work yet. Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, okay, here we go. Cool Kid LOL. Let's see. Cool Kid, and I'm going to remove the space. I think that's you. I think we found somebody. All right. I'm going to challenge you. I think I found you. We're going to do 3-minute just because there's more people now joining the queues. Oh, you sent a challenge? No, I did an outgoing. Who could L0L? I sent you a challenge. Did you get it? Here we go. Cool Kid L01. We have our first viewer, and we start with this garbage opening. It is a garbage opening, moving your side pawns. It goes against all fundamentals. I do not recommend ever moving that side pawn as your move one choice. Okay, that pretty much just gives me an extra move to do whatever I want. So I'm going to bring out my knight, develop, castle, play like normal. This opening is actually called the potato variation. The potato variation of the ready. That's the actual name of this opening. Chess.com gives you the opening names. Potato variation. I never knew that was a chess name. So this is sort of like a London system, but with the A4 thing inserted. So, I mean, whatever. Let's just develop my bishop. We got nice activity going on this F file. Let's come here, maybe challenge the bishop. Put in a queen here. Yeah, let's do it. See where that bishop wants to go. Sometimes they back it up, sometimes they take, sometimes they don't do anything. Let's castle for some king safety. And maybe park the queen on c7. Alright, the knight is coming in, planting itself over here, but that's fine. Let's go this way, and then bring in my knight over here. This move is scary. Let's go here, tuck it down. If the knight wants to take, I'm fine with that. I'll just take back. Whoa, we have some crazy activity going on. Let's go over... Oh boy, what is going on? I'm just getting attacked. Left, right, and center. I think I'm going to have to accept that I'll have a bad pawn structure, but I'm okay with it. I have to escape my king. My bishop, rather. I didn't want it to get trapped. That would have been a little bit annoying. Okay, so we have takes, pawn takes. I think I've clarified the position a little bit. Even though technically I have the worst pawn structure, I feel great. I feel fantastic. I think now I gotta just tuck my knight back here. After pawn takes, that helps my pawns. We go here. And I think I'm okay. I think I came out of this attack fine. I didn't just lose out of the opening. I think here it's time for me to challenge the center. Just a little bit. Okay, protect it with my king. What is going on here? It's being attacked again. Let's defend this way. And I can always come here with my knight to defend there. Okay, is attacking me with the pawn. Guys, this is a little scary for my liking. Let's defend. My opponent's doing a great job at attacking me. Okay, let's come here. We take that back. After pawn takes, rook takes. Okay, the queen's attacking me now. Okay, this is getting spicy. Let's come over. Do we push to protect this way? No. Pawn takes would fork everything. Guys, I don't know what to do. I think I'm just collapsing. White is dominating this position. Can he give me a checkmate? Rematch. I see you've sent me a 10-minute challenge. I'm not playing any 10-minute games today. So you're going to have to challenge me to a faster time control, but you have to get in the queue. This is looking really bad for me, guys. This pawn's a passer. I don't really have anything concrete. I'm just going to get destroyed. This opening did not go my way. Even though he played a really bad opening. I'm just developing my knight. You know what they say, never give up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, this is really bad, guys. I'm getting clobbered. Absolutely clobbered. With 12 seconds left, I'm just lost. Let's go here. Oh, we have a fork. I don't think that's going to be enough to save the day. Check. After here, I really don't see a follow-up, though. There's no additional checks. That sucks. Yeah, I'm just lost. This pawn push queen, and I'm toast. Where did I go wrong here? Let me see. Let me run this through the computer. My opponent absolutely destroyed me. He played a near perfect game. 95% accuracy. 2 great moves, 16 best moves, 5 excellent moves, 5 good ones. I got absolutely outplayed. This guy played like a monster. Quest, kudos. Very good game. What happened here? He plays a move like a4 and then just absolutely destroys me. What the hell? It was like a London system, but with this a4 inserted. I play something against the London, but I wasn't expecting a London to come out of this. But yeah, this attack was just devastating, and I was just dead lost after this. Not much I could do. Yeah, and you would have got a queen. Nothing I could do here. Leia Riza Gorgonia, thank you for joining my chat. Just click on subscribe and become a subscriber. And then what you could do is !join. You wrote join without the exclamation mark. You need to put !join to join the queue. Yeah, Quest, you're very good. You just destroyed me. You know what you're doing. Wow, all wins? You've only played 10 games before, and all of them are wins. What the heck? You joined April 7th. You made your account today? Something seems a little fishy about that. Just a tad fishy. Sure. Alright, let's see who's next. Pretty sure it's Fars. Yep, Fars, you're up. Fars, I think you put your username already in here. Fars29. Yeah, anyone that's challenging me, make sure to put your username in the chat. Your accounts keep getting deleted? Why? Why does your accounts keep getting deleted? That doesn't make any sense. Fars, let's play a 5-minute game. Sent you the challenge. Ready when you are. Waiting for you, Mr. Fars. Did you get my challenge? Fars29. All right, here we go. We have a game. Let's start with pawn to e4. We have e5. Let's bring out our knight. This is a Petrov. I don't like playing the Petrov, so I'm going to try to transpose to a Scotch 4 knights. And we have this interesting move, pawn to d5. What to do against that? I think I'll take it. Knight takes. Let's just grab it, I guess. And then play pawn to d4. And I think we're all right there. Check, but I come here and block it. This move is nice. What if I come here like this, and then potentially bishop over here hitting the queen. Okay, that just hangs the bishop. That doesn't protect the bishop. So we take that. And you can't sign in with Apple. You're playing a game and then I get kicked out of my account. That's weird. I don't know why that's happening. Don't know why that's happening. It looks like there was an issue with my chats showing up, so I just fixed that now. So it looks like Fars just blundered a full bishop. There's always this check, but I can always block it, so I'm not really worried about that. I wonder what happened to Mr. Quest's account. Cool Kid LOL. Yeah, still has an account. So, okay, knight over here. I think I'm going to take this pawn now. Another pawn? Am I greedy for wanting to do that? I think I'll take this pawn instead. I think that's a smarter approach. So let's do that. The bishop is protecting my queen. So I'm attacking the queen, attacking the knight. This is not a robot speaking. Yeah, no one's questioning you being a robot in the chat. All right, that defends the queen. I think it's time to grab the pawn over here. Now I'm exerting some more pressure on the knight. Just a little bit more pressure. Yeah, I got absolutely destroyed that last game. G Benga Abajaga. Welcome to my channel. What's up? What's up? This move attacks the queen, but it doesn't stop me from grabbing the knight with my queen, because after queen takes, knight takes, and then I'm up a full knight. That move is horrible because moving the bishop undefends the queen, so I'm going to take that queen for free. I like free material. Okay, let's give another check. If the bishop blocks, we take it. And then the king moves, and then we have a simple checkmate. Fars, let's see where you went wrong. The Petrov is a very interesting opening, and I never really played against this variation. You have no problems with your opening. Bishop b4 check, I think, doesn't really fit the spirit of the position. Instead, maybe, I don't know, not castle, taking the pawn or developing your knight to put more pressure on it, or moving your bishop out, pinning my knight. All of these would have been better options. This check allows me to play pawn to c3, solidifying my center, adding protection to that pawn. And at the same time, now you're on the back foot. You have to move your bishop away, giving me a little bit more flexibility. So now it allows me to play like queen a4, and it helped me bring out my queen. If not for this move, I would not have been able to do that. And now you lose the bishop, and after you lose the bishop, you just completely fold and blunder all your pieces and get checkmated. All right. Next, we have, I think, Aaron. Aaron, are you still here? Aaron, are you in the chat? Mr. Aaron, can you have another go? If you join the queue, you have to do ! join, and then wait for your turn. But yeah, I'm up for playing. You're really strong. You played this game like a grandmaster, so I would love to get some more experience. It's not play, it's ! join. Aaron, are you here? Aaron, giving you 10 seconds to answer. And I'm just going to count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It looks like Aaron is not here. So does that mean I play Farce again and get a rematch? I think so. Farce, let's rematch. Let's play again. Here we go. Now I have the black pieces against Farce. So let's see what goes on. We have pawn to e4. I'm going to play pawn to c6. Be a little bit conservative here. All right. Bring up my pawn. What do we have? Usually there's takes or knight comes out. So let's take. We have an exchange variation. G Benga. Oh, Aaron. Aaron, you just put in your username. Okay, awesome. Stand by and I'll challenge you right after. Thought I lost you there, Aaron, but glad you're here. Aaron, you are next. Just hang by and we'll get a game right after this. Okay. It was your turn. I gave you a 10-second countdown. You didn't answer. So I did next and moved on to the next person, but happy to fit you in there. Only if you subscribe to my channel. How about that? Deal? Do we have a deal? Okay. So I'm kind of playing like a reversed London system with the black pieces. I think this is always a good structure when you don't know what to do. Just develop, make normal moves. I'm going to have to start playing quicker time control games. No more 5-minute games. I think I'll stick to 3 minutes. So to give everybody who wants to play me so they don't have to wait forever. All right. Bishop e7. We'll just castle. So far, white is playing much better than how the last game went. The openings are not a problem. It's what happens after that. Arab Ski. Thanks for joining my channel. Exclamation mark play is not a thing. It's join. J-O-I-N. So do exclamation mark join. All right, so my bishop's under attack. So let's go over. Let's go down. Let's go down. Quest verse is next. Let's go here. Take back. My opponent is playing so much better now than the other game. This one's kind of equal. Like there's no. It's not like I'm just taking all his pieces. I wonder what the list looks like now. I'm going to refresh this. We got G Benga and then Quest verse. And then Arab Ski, if you want to play, you have to do exclamation mark join. Play won't do it. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Aaron, you're next. Aramat 713. And then G Benga. So Aaron, hang by and we'll get a game. Don't let me forget. I want to make sure you get your game. Well, this is a rated game, guys. If I lose 16 points. I didn't realize this was a rated game. Yikes. Okay, I better not lose. This move, okay, it undefends the pawn, and so I could take here and we get kind of a fork. Attacking. The bishop is protected, but you got to take the pawn. I'm going to take the pawn. Yeah, don't forget Aaron, guys. When this game is over, type in Aaron's name so I don't forget. I would hate to forget it. That's why I have a cube, but I'm making an exception here. Normally, I would say, hey, you missed your chance, get back in the back of the line. But I like to be reasonable when I can. Cheers to you, sir. All right, how is Farce going to deal with this? I'm attacking the queen, right? Maybe beginners won't even see it. Okay, he sees it. He moves the queen. This, however, falls to a fork. Now this is an actual fork, because my knight is attacking those two rooks. So we do it. And we grab that. Now we're up material. I think what I need to do now is move the knight or the bishop. I actually don't know. It's not so clear how to continue now. I guess play like normal? But what does normal mean? Let's develop the rook. We don't have to go crazy and fancy all the time. We can just make a normal developing move and see what white wants to do. Like, I could have also gone here, but I don't know. All right, the rook is coming to play. What about this now? Opening up on the bishop and attacking the queen. You're gonna like this stream and sub? That's awesome, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support. All 26 of you can click like and subscribe to my channel. It'll mean a world of difference to me. Everyone counts. I think clicking like helps with the algorithm to get it pushed out to more people too. So what does white do? If white takes my bishop, I think I'll take this, because if takes, I have a sacrifice. After rook takes or pawn takes, knight here will be a fork. Okay, this does not work because bishop, if queen takes, the queen is protecting, so we just win. I guess we take this way and threaten the mate over here. And then there are also discoveries. Check, and then I can pick up that rook. What's up, Suds? Welcome to my stream. All right, this doesn't do anything about the checkmate. All right, let's see who we got next. Next, oh, I'm sorry. Next is Aaron, and then Jibenga. Aaron, I did not forget you. I remembered. Aaron is Rematch 713. I almost forgot. I'm glad I caught myself there. I owe you a game, Aaron. All right, there you go. Add challenge. There you go, Arabski. Cool. And with that, I'm going to have to close my queue. So, Arabski, you're the last one in. We're going to do a 2-1 game. We get an increment. There we go. All right. Start with e4. e5. Bring out my knight. Okay, we have a 3 knights. Usually, there we go. It's a 4-knight scotch. And I'm bringing out my pawn to d4. Your user is Notorious Seeker. I don't think chess.com supports a space, so just make sure you're checking the spacing on that and just confirm. Just let me know. Takes, queen takes. Here we go. Now I have nice pieces, center control, looking good. I'm going to develop my bishop, castle. Okay, this is making room for a fianchetto over here. I'm going to develop my bishop and castle. I'm not afraid. There you go. Thank you. This is a check. Or I could go back. I think I'm going to go back with my queen. Maybe here is a good square. Yeah, let's go here. Keep the queen in the action. And then castle next. If I moved my queen all the way back, it would make it a little bit harder for me to get my rooks connected. Okay, castles. I'm going to castle as well. King safety is very important. Okay, bishop goes over there. I could push to just open things up a tad. Or I can first develop my bishop and create a pin, and then I'm threatening to come here. Okay, I'm going to go here, back it up, and see where my opponent wants to go with this. This is turning into a very interesting game. Okay, I do potentially have this, but after bishop takes, I don't really have such a great follow-up. I'm going to play rook over here and threaten to push that pawn. I think that's a good idea. Ooh, queen over here. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I don't want to trade. I'm going to come here. Now we have a few things up our sleeve, like taking or whatever. Suds, unfortunately, the queue is closed. Oh no, I thought I had closed it. If I have time, Suds, I'll play you, but it's kind of like 50-50. I can't guarantee it. Let's go this way. I think that's logical. Hit the queen, hit the bishop. And we'll see what my opponent does. We are both getting a little bit low on time. Thanks for your understanding, Suds. All right, I'm hitting the queen. Where's this queen going? Here, maybe? Okay, over there. Hitting the bishop, hitting the knight. What to do? Maybe this makes sense just to cover it. Nah, let's take. Queen takes bishop is going to happen. I'm going to take here, though. And then after pawn takes, queen takes, and my queen is protecting the knight. And now I'm threatening to come in here for this mate threat. I think that's my idea. That works out. Here, and how do you defend this exactly? I don't think you can. I think it's lights out. I think it's just GG's. Nothing black can do at this point. But yeah, wow, what a game. Yep. There we go. Good game. Oh, I didn't want to skip Jibenga. So Jibenga, you're up right now, and then whoever it says next, it'll be next. Jibenga. Jibenga, you put your username in here, I'm pretty sure. Just scrolling to find it. Yeah, Jega13. Copy and paste. Arabsky, I think you're after. Let me refresh. Yeah, you're after. Okay, let's do members. This. Jega. Okay. Let's play. Let's go a little bit faster just because there's people that want to play. We'll do a 1 minute with 1 second increment. Challenge sent. If there's time quest. I sent Jibenga the challenge. Jibenga, are you still here? Yes, he is. Here we go. 1 minute with 1 second increment game. Check his turn. All right, D4, D5. What do we got? A London system. All right, let's do it. Bring out the pieces. In the London system, I like to challenge this bishop right away. With knight over here, pawn here, and then bishop here. Challenge that. What's up, Samuel? Welcome to my channel. All right, attacking the bishop. Okay, bishop moves, so let's castle. And we're going to go here, and then try to go for this idea. Pawn to e5. This move is a little bit aggressive, but I'm cool with it. Let's go here. And we'll see what he's got. There's always the pressure of time in these fast games. We'll bring out our rook. All of these moves are preparing pawn to e5. Let's go here and then play pawn to e5 next. Maybe I'll first take it and then play pawn to e5. I think that's the idea. All right, we go here. And then push. Okay, let's back up the queen. We don't want to lose it right away. And then push and break through. Okay, that's a pawn. We got a pawn out of this, guys. We take those. And now my opponent flagged. Okay, good game. Now it's Arabski's turn. Did you put your username in here? Yes, you did. Notorious Seeker. Time for a challenge. Sending you a challenge right now, Notorious Seeker. Stand by. We're going to play a 1 minute with 1 second increment. Yeah, it was a fast game there. At least I give you a 1 second increment, so you don't just flag. Well, you did flag, but you held up a fight. Arabski, I sent you the challenge. See if you got it. Waiting on you to accept it. How do you accept? Go to chess.com and you should see the challenge. Open up chess.com, click on play or whatever, and then you should see the challenge. Says it's house. Don't know what you mean by that. Okay, here we go. He did find a way to accept the challenge. We're going to play e4. e5, bring out the knight. Bring out my other knight. And are we going to get another Scotch 4 knights? That is what most people play in this. We have that. Very interesting. Usually I see the knight coming out to here. I don't think I can punish it or anything, so I'm just going to go here. It's at the top of your screen as well. Whoa, this f-pawn. I always see people moving this f-pawn. Let's take. Do I have anything here? Let's develop my bishop, pointing at the square. Would love to get my knight in like that. That would be pretty nice. This move here. Could I potentially sacrifice my bishop? King takes it, and then here? Nah, that doesn't seem to work. I could also get a pawn right now. What if I play takes? I think takes is very logical here. So I'm hitting the knight and threatening this checkmate and threatening to come here. There's a lot of threats on this board. Let's see how my opponent handles it. What is my opponent going to do here? If he tries to attack the knight, well, this is still mate. Bishop over here is going to be mate. Oh, guys, checkmate. That's why you don't move the f-pawn. That's why you don't move the f-pawn, guys. Who is next? Next we have Suds. Suds, let's play. Suds, what's your username? Notorious Seeker, you're going to have to wait. I don't know if we're going to be able to squeeze in the game, but we're going to play Suds if he's up for it. Arab Ski, yeah, you kind of fell for that. It happens. You were overthinking. Yeah, it happens. It's easy to overthink in chess. Suds, what is it? It just says, oh, not even that good at chess. Okay, I love that username. That's an amazing username. Here we go. Let's play 1-1. So you joined today, by the way, so you're new to it. Very cool. All right, here we go. Good luck. You have moving the pawn 1 square. Let's develop like normal. We're just going to take that as an extra move. This opening, guys, is called the St. George defense. You got to make a move in 4 seconds or the game will auto abort. 3, 2, 1, and it's going to auto abort. No. I'm going to rematch. You have to move again like right away. Otherwise it's going to abort. So you just have to make your second move within like 10 seconds or something like that. You got to play a little faster. 8, 7, 6, 5. It's going to abort if you don't play. All right. Hopefully you make your next move relatively soon. Otherwise, okay, here we go. Now we have a game. I'm going to treat this like as a normal d4, d5 and bring out my knight. See what my opponent is going to do. All right, let's go here. Develop everything. Okay, solid move. Bringing out the bishop. Probably he's going to close off his... Whoa! Pawn over here. Guys, I never like seeing this f-pawn move. This is just screaming to lose. Maybe this and that, like... Oh my god. What about sacrificing the knight after pawn takes queen here? I don't think that does it. But this is a long-term weakness, this diagonal. Not a whole lot I can do about it right now, but something to think about. I don't want to get my bishop trapped, so I'm going to provide a safe square for that bishop. All right, let's come here and challenge the bishop. Where's that bishop going? I guess the bishop... Oh, okay. Let's defend. Maybe bring in my knight. Okay, takes. I mean, white's fine here. Okay, backing up the bishop. Maybe I'm going to push the pawn. Okay, here. This is dangerous for me now. This is starting to get very, very dangerous. If the pawn pushes again, I'm in big danger. Okay. What is this? What is going on? I think I have to come here and defend this way, and then my bishop is kind of bad. But I kind of have to just chill with it right now. Let's go here. Attack the knight. Let's go this way, and here maybe I think is a good idea. Moving the king 1 square. Threatening to come here. Okay, castling is very good. Let's come here. Okay, let's push. Get some kingside attack going on. Takes, let's take here. And if queen takes, I go here. Oh, that's a free piece. I'm in a little bit of danger, but I think I can just... Okay, I'm going to get a fork right now, but I'm going to go up. And my opponent blunders, but oh my god, I was just getting destroyed. I was on my back foot. I was just getting wrecked. I won on time, though, so I'll take that. But dang, my opponent played really good. 98, guys, look at this. 98.2% accuracy with 2 brilliant moves. 1 great move, 14 best moves, amazing. Not even that good at chess. You were playing out of your mind today. So props to you, kudos, like that. That is incredible. I wonder what the brilliant moves are here. This move, brilliant. Brilliant, 2 brilliant moves in a row. Great move. I mean, I'm just in such bad shape here. Completely lost. This is a fork. This is a fork, and then I wherever I go, boom, you take this, and then I lose. So wow, two brilliant moves in a row, two great moves in a row that you had. You would have found it amazing. You should be a grandmaster. Keep playing. You'll get your rating way, way, way above 798. All right, Suds. Good games. Good games, everyone. I think that's the cue. I think that's it, everybody. I gotta head out. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. Thanks so much for your games. Make sure to click on subscribe so you can be alerted when I go live next. Arab, we're gonna have to play another time. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Take care.